What about the casting? Like, how involved were you in like choosing like SJP and everyone?
Well, you have to remember at one point, SJP did not want to do it.
Right.
So after she shot the pilot, she did not want to do it. And I remember that vaguely. And I think at one point they were saying that I should have played the part. And now I'm like, yeah, I should have played the part. But then they convinced her to do it. And I probably had stuff in my contract, some kind of approval, but I wasn't savvy enough to know that because they kept sending me the tapes and I would go on some auditions and that sort of thing. But I didn't feel, I don't know. I wasn't, I did, I, they don't really listen. It's, this is the thing about TV. It's not your choice. It's not
Right.
your decision. It just isn't. No matter what anybody says, it's not. You're either an insider on that business or you're not. So, I mean, really, the first thing they try to do in TV is cut you out.
Right.
Financially and, job wise. So that's what they do. It's just standard operating procedure.
Was that hard for you to like kind of let your baby go and have it take on another life?
No, it wasn't because I mean I'm a novelist.
Right.
I mean I really want to write the great American novel. Now I'm like, forget it. That's never going to happen. But no, I mean, and the first 2 years, Darren worked on the show for 2 years, and those first 2 years, it was really fun. We had a great time.
Yeah.
So and we would hang out with the cast. We went to Italy a couple times, and it was fun. It was really fun.
Well, if they didn't convince SJP after the pilot, we might have Candace Bushnell. You might be adding TV actress to your resume.
Exactly. But that was something that, what, I don't love being on TV sets.
You don't?
No, it's not really where I want to spend the bulk of my day. I mean, that's the thing that people don't really think about is, you've got to be on that set and it's tedious.
Yeah.
It's tedious work. The battery's always running out.
Reshoot, shooting the same thing over and over.
Shooting. It's also a lot of the time, it's cold, it's rainy, and you're sitting outside or you're in a tiny little crowded room with everybody else. And I don't know. It's just, I don't love being on a set.
Was there any, I mean, I've read so much. Was there anyone that was heavily in the mix other than SJP, like in the beginning? Because I've read so many different things, but like that of, or like, did you have an idea of who you wanted?
I really did not. I really didn't. And Sarah Jessica Parker was, I mean, somebody who we went to see her, and Darren and I went to see her in Once Upon a Mattress. And I thought she was nice and cute, and she's funny too. I mean, that was really, to me, was the main thing, was that she had comic timing. And because believe it or not, I used to be very funny.
I think you're still funny. I've read many of your books. You're very funny.
I still am on stage. But that's the thing that's hard to find is, and especially back then, women who are funny, that's not necessarily considered a plus if you're an actress. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Yeah.
looks and boobs are much more important because there aren't that many funny parts for women.
Yeah.
So I would say that was, that was what I I thought was really good. And she also lived in New York.
Right.
So she got the New York thing, which is very, if you don't live in New York and you're from LA, like they never get it. It's just a thing. It's like a flavoring. It's very hard to nail unless you actually live in the city. And I see it
That's
on TV all the time.